Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to kind of give you a life update on where I've been. I know I've been MIA the past couple days, and if you follow me on Instagram you probably know a little bit of the story, but I'm just going to start from the beginning for those of you that don't follow me. Okay, so on Thursday morning, I was lowering Hudson to the ground to change his diaper, and all of a sudden my back kind of locked up, and I tried to stand up a couple times and it was extremely painful, but I was able to stand up and walk a little bit, but I was just really hunched over. So I called David and he was able to come home early so that I could go to the chiropractor. Now, this chiropractor I saw all through my pregnancy with Hudson, and I felt really comfortable with him seeing me, and I was hoping that he could fix me up because this has happened to me a couple times in the past, but it's never gotten this extreme to where it was hard for me to walk. So I made an appointment for Thursday afternoon, drove myself there, hunched over across the wheel because, like I said, I couldn't straighten my back. So I went there and he did an adjustment. I asked him about possibly doing x-rays since I had never gotten them before because I was pregnant when I started going to him. And he said that he would like to do x-rays, but because he had squeezed me in that day, he was going to wait until Monday because he wanted to see me back then anyways to see how my progress had gone. So I was like, okay. He did his adjustment and it definitely was more painful than it had ever been before, but I figured, you know, with an injury or not being pregnant, it would be a little bit more rough, so I didn't really think anything of it. So from there I just came home, and he told me to do ice and heat, to alternate that every 10 minutes for an hour. I did that. I took some Motrin and I basically just laid on the couch for the rest of the afternoon. David did everything for me, which was great. From there I got up to go to bed. Still, I crawled up the steps that evening to get into bed. I couldn't put any pressure on my right hip. Oh, and the chiropractor did say it seemed to be something in my right hip. He could feel all the pressure in my right hip. So I crawled up to bed that night. Like I said, any pressure I put on my right side, it was extremely painful. And then throughout that night, it was hard for me to sleep. It was hard for me to move from position to position, and really any position I was in, it just seemed really uncomfortable. So Friday morning I woke up. I was still in a lot of pain, but I was able to walk downstairs, still hunched over, make Hudson's bottle. I fed him, and then by the time I was supposed to get Eli ready for school, it was hard for me to walk anywhere, so I called a friend of mine to take him because I physically couldn't take him at all. So she took him to school. Hudson went down for a nap. By the time he woke up from his nap, I was unable to walk. Luckily David had come home because I told him how bad it was getting, and I was just laid in bed. It was excruciating. If I put any pressure on my right hip, like my knee would just buckle and I would just fall to the ground. It was not good. So I laid in bed until like 11:30, and that's when me and David decided to go to the ER and see what was going on, because even though the chiropractor didn't seem too concerned, he couldn't really see inside. You know, he didn't take x-rays or any imaging or anything like that. So we decided to go to the ER. And I started to get ready, or basically I got dressed laying down on the bed. So then he went downstairs to start getting Hudson's stuff together, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get up. So I literally crawl to the steps and realize I just like broke down. I was in so much pain crawling from my bed to the steps, which is not that far at all. I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to make it to the hospital. And when David turned around the steps and he saw me like laying there in tears, he knew that he needed to call the ambulance. So he called the ambulance, and they came like within 5 to 10 minutes. It was pretty quick. Oh, and I will back up a little bit. While he was gone, like that time frame, he was not here in the morning and Eli had gone to school and it was just me and Hudson. Trying to do anything for him was extremely difficult. When I had to put him down for a nap, I was crawling on my hands and knees, and I had Hudson in one arm and I would scoot him forward to give him some momentum, and I would crawl a couple steps and then move him again, crawl a couple steps, and I had to do that all the way from my room to his room to get him down for a nap, because I knew once I could get him down for a nap, David was just about here and he could take care of us. So I did that, and then I used all of my strength to try to just lift him up and basically toss him into the crib for his nap, which sounds awful, but I promise he wasn't hurt. So anyways, back to the ambulance. So the ambulance gets here, and you know, they have to check like your vitals and everything and make sure I wasn't paralyzed or anything like that. And then they assisted me down the steps, got into the stretcher, put me into the ambulance, took me to the hospital. You know, they gave me an IV, all that jazz. When I got to the hospital, they were asking all sorts of questions about numbness and like using the bathroom on myself and stuff, and they said that those would be signs of an emergency surgery. So I'm thankful that I didn't have any of those signs, and we were able to they gave me some pain medicine and we got some x-rays done. So the x-rays came back and he said basically I was having muscle spasms, but these muscle spasms were most likely caused by an abnormal curve in my spine. So most likely scoliosis, even though he didn't say scoliosis. And he also said that I have some extra space between my vertebrae. So he gave me a bunch of pain medicine and a muscle relaxer, and he just said don't lift anything, just rest, lay down, and he also referred me to an orthopedic. So I will be making an appointment with him soon to see what further treatment we can do so that this doesn't keep happening, because it wasn't like an injury necessarily, like I didn't get in a car accident or fall down the steps or anything like that. It's something that has continued to happen and just get worse. So I will be making an appointment with him soon, and it's Sunday now, so I've been taking those medicines for, you know, over 48 hours and just basically been resting the whole time on the couch. Today is the first day that I've been able to get up and move around, which has been really great because I was getting a little like stir crazy. I'm still pretty sore, but the pain has dropped tremendously, and I think that, you know, by tomorrow, another day with the muscle relaxers and everything, I'll be back to 100%. So I do apologize for not posting videos as often as I had promised. I plan to get back to that this week at some point. I don't think I'll necessarily be able to put up a video every day for Vlogmas like I had originally planned on it, but I will be uploading as much as possible and still doing fun Christmas stuff that you guys requested. I will keep you guys up to date with the orthopedic and see when I get an appointment with him, what he says, and further treatment and everything. I hope this cleared up some guesses on where I've been. Like I said, if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to follow me. I'll leave the links below, just so you can stay up to date day by day, because I'm not always able to come on here and post a video explaining where I've been to you guys. So that's all for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Bye.